So what the plan is, with winter coming, I've got about 5 cubic meters of wood now. Just got to chop up some of it. Some of it been seasoning, some of it for seasoning all year, some of it just for 6 months or whatever. Anyway, this is going to be like the kind of, well, an enjoyable but also a crisis table. So I'm going to have my Jenny in here as well as the gas. I've got a heater, so I can just grab this, move it anywhere I need to. So now I'm going to make some tiles on here. So these are 600 by 300 mil. So they're what I had left over from the bathroom when I built the bathroom in the winter, last winter, right boy? So I want to make it as flush as I can. The idea, I'm going to have 3 here, and then I'm going to arch it just so it looks symmetrical. So I've got some 2 mil spacers. So I'm measuring everything up first, then cutting it, and then I'll cement them in. Obviously you don't want to do the cement till you've done all cutting. Should be 10, yep, 10 centimetres. Yep, a bit of mil more on this side. I'm happy with that. I'm going to score it anyway. So that shouldn't change the size particularly. I mean, if it were to be just out a little bit, I can then wedge it a little bit further before I do that one, then learn what the mistake was I made if I make one. There we go. Oh, it's quite thick now. It needs sharpening. Yeah, they well need sharpening. People have got their own techniques. This is mine. I'm not saying it's the only one. But I've scored it again. I've put masking tape around it. And what I'll do is I'll cut a little bit there, cut a little bit there, then scour across it. I prefer it with water, but we've got a hose pipe ban, and I'd have to use a hose pipe because I'm on my own. So we don't know what that will look like, so I'm not doing it. Now, I've changed the blade. So this is diamond cutter. It's too hot in the midday sun. So move back here. So I've done is got the masking tape there, measured it, put it there now to be absolutely accurate. Now I'm going to mark it. Now I'm happy with these, where these are. I'll sharpen that as well. There we go. I'm just going to cut down there. I've got it all maxed out now. I'm pretty happy with that. There's a tiny few little bits of minor adjustments. There's a little bit of a bolt there that I'm going to take the angle grinder to. That's why it's slightly out. I've got a plan for that. So now, trim hole beads. So this goes underneath it goes on the cement underneath the tiles. It just makes it smooth and nice, especially when you've finished with the grouting. But I just need 45 degrees. So that's going to be that way. It's Cows Week. I keep hearing 5 big hoots and big boats out there, obviously coming into close collision range. I'm going to head down there. Should be sailing later in the week. Anyway, yeah, I just decided actually rather than that, I'll use my clippers. Because it's just on the back end, I need to cut it. And we'll do those all. I like to dry run everything. There's a screw that broke, just sticking out a tiny little bit. a bit hot there, so keep an eye out. I think as I said before, I would like to get everything ready, absolutely perfect, so we can just go together, because you don't want to be hanging around with the cement, wet cement, and having to do things, finish jobs, because you'd be surprising how long it can take just to take a millimetre off something. So I like to plan everything, get it all done, then go for the cement. And I did find my little cement mixer. Ooh, didn't plug it in. The only thing my father left me in his will. This old drill. Oh man, I wonder where all these tools went. He was an engineer. I've got just under a litre of water. I like to overdo it for obvious reasons, and I always have a plan to what to do with the cement that you leave after. So I've got a plan of a broken flag I'm going to fill, depending on how much is left. But I'd sooner have too much left than too little. Now this is awkward on your own, especially as it gets thicker. But you know what I'm going to do. How I know when it's done is that it turns the bucket at slow revs. That's when I know it's about right. And then I just have to do minor corrections. I always have a bucket of water ready at the... Trust me, the amount of times I've forgotten to do that. Right, I think we're good to go. There it is. So you can tell that it sticks, it stays on. This is 5mm. 5mm thingamajig here. I think I've got 10mm there, but I think it's quite smooth, so I think 5mm is actually probably too much really, but we'll see. Can't remember if I filmed it, but I did 2 layers of PVA. So PVA is like a glue, so you mix it with water depending on how the dilution is, depending on how dry something is. Because this is bone dry and it's wood, I gave it a right good soaking in. 2 coats of that, so hopefully that means it's got something that the cement can glue onto. Otherwise it can dry out the cement too quickly and it doesn't bond, and then it can shift, more so on a wall, more important on a wall, because obviously gravity can have an adverse impact. But I want to do it properly, so that's well. Plus I've got so much PVA, I've got a big gallon of it, might as well use it whenever I get an opportunity. Perhaps I've used it just for outdoor things as well. So yeah, we've got plenty here. Now some of it's going to fall through there. There was just enough cement. So next with the trim or beads, some people call it beads, some people call it trim. Just sink it into the cement. Sugar. I'll give it a clean later before it dries. It's going to dry quite quick in this sense. There's different ways of turning these. The different thicknesses depending on how they turn. Some people put them in corners as well. I just want the gap, that's all I need. And then I can pull them out later with a pair of pliers. But some people prefer keep them in at the corners, whatever, it doesn't really matter. Well, I don't think it does. The other thing as well, that the table will be, because it's recycled wood and slightly warped and bent, a little bit broken in parts, it won't be absolutely perfect, it won't be like an indoor stud wall. Do you not want that to dry on there? Oh, that's already fucking drying on there. So, next day. So now the cement's dry, or it should be. I've just checked it actually, it is dry. Now I'm going to do the grouting. It's exactly the same process. So again, a bit of water, chuck enough grout in there until there's enough. Well, I think there'll be enough. I don't know what calculations professionals use particularly. I think it's just guesstimates based on experience. So I'm reckoning about 1/3 of a litre of water with the dry grout. So I'm just going to mix that in there. Just put a little bit in. Now this is my last lot, so if I get this wrong, I'm going to have to take a trip down to B&Q, which I don't particularly want to do. And give that a quick mix. Oh, and if you see me leaning over, don't do that. Bend the knees. I keep trying to tell myself. I did my back in last time, because there were just some things I had to reach out when I was doing the tiling for the bathroom. say there's some things that are just really tricky to do without leaning over. I'm not going to wash that just yet because I want to. That's what I'll use. Yep, that's about right. So I will wash it. So make sure I've got a bucket of water as well. And sponge. Depends on how delicate you want it. Generally most people use a sponge and that's it, but I like to use these as well. So these in the water. And then it takes up. Yeah, I've done too much. Could have been done, I think, a little tiny bit drier. Now it's drying a little bit, I'm starting to see some white speckles. Can you see it? I'm going to give it a bit of clean. It's been outdoors forever, a bit rusty. So I'll do a scrape, and then I've got some heat resistant silver spray. Put some masking tape on these. See what it looks like. Right, the table's finished now. Everything's just sorted. I've still got a few bits and bobs I want to put on it so that it's going to be used throughout winter as well, although I've got a plan for that too. Our old stove, which I pulled out of the living room, which is here, I've just stripped down, scraped and then resprayed and put a flue on it. So I'm going to use it like a barbecue. I've got, I'll show you shortly, but I've got broken down pallet wood, so it's free, it's been chucked out, it was just rotting in the ground. So carbon neutral. It's hot and it seems absurd because it's August, but so I use these two for putting the. So I've got potatoes to go in here, and if we put these in the oven, I checked the last time we used the oven, it cost something ridiculous like £2. So this is free wood burning. We put these tatties on. It's a bit of an experiment, as in I keep trying different ways to use it like an oven. I did last winter. So whether it's embers, whether it's a fire, to use a steel grill like that, or to use a pan. The main thing what I've learned is timing it, because it will burn quickly. So that's 11 minutes past. My welding gloves, which double up for everything. Sharon's going to be cooking on this shortly, so I've got the tatties in there, 11 minutes past. Great stuff. Ooh, that sounds. They've only been in 4 minutes, 5 minutes, just over 5 minutes now. 16 minutes past. Oh, that. Oh, even these are my toughest, thickest ladder ones, but they're still too hot. Like I say, it can be too hot because it'll cook too quickly. So I'm doing the potatoes. They're in the oven. Sharon's doing the vegetable casserole, but I'm going to have chicken with it as well. These are splats.
So it's just basically just me getting your dish ready.
Mise en place.
Mise en place. Probably mispronounced, but I've just got some other bits to go with it as well. I'm not sure if I'm going to use them all yet, but I'll just get them out. olives. Oh, I don't know if I've got that right. Right, I'm gonna, they're nicely frying. I'm gonna add broccoli, beans, mushrooms, and that bit of garlic. I'm just going to add a tin of tomatoes. These are chopped tomatoes. Again, I buy these in bulk from the whole food shop. They were £4 for 12, but I think they've gone up now. But it does say buying them in bulk. I'm going to stir in this tin of tomatoes. Got a couple of little dollops in. This red wine is one of our own brew wines, so it's been on the shelf for quite a while now, probably a year this one, so it's nice and fruity. And then I'm just going to bring this pan to boil. Add a bit of pepper. Taking the lid off. Let the finger. Mind them. Gets really hot, these pans. Right. This is sticking a little bit now.
Oh wow, they're lovely. They're fluffy and soft as well.
Vegetable casserole from before. And Marty's chicken. It looks a bit lonely.
Yeah, it is.
Just a bit